Hey guys, what's going on everybody? My name is Blitzwinger, and ladies and gents, welcome back to a brand new Blitznews update. It's been about a hot minute since I've made one of these, but we're back at it again, and today we're going to be discussing the brand new Mighty Micro sets that have been now officially confirmed. Of course, these pictures have been leaked around for a while now, but I've learned my lesson with Lego stuff. It's best to wait until there are official images, because if you tend to post stuff earlier, well, let's just say Lego does not particularly like that, and your videos will get taken down. At least that's from my experience and what I know. But nevertheless, now we can discuss them more officially. Of course, if you don't know what the Mighty Micros are, they are basically kind of super stylized versions of superhero characters. They usually release them in batches of 3 sets per Marvel and DC. So we get 3 new Marvel sets, 3 new DC sets. And I'm not gonna lie, for a while there, we didn't really hear anything about Mighty Micros, and I thought that they were just going to go away. I thought, like, okay, maybe these are not doing very well. And I also saw them on clearance and on sale in a bunch of different stores, not just like Toys R Us, but Toys R Us, Walmart, Superstore had them. Like a bunch of different stores that carried them would clearance them out. So I would assume that that means that maybe the line is not particularly successful and we wouldn't see any more. Luckily, that is not the case. So today we're going to take a look at the 3 brand new DC sets as well as the 3 brand new Marvel sets. And then what I want to do is I want to hear from you guys. Pick one of your favorites from the DC side of things and one of your favorites from the Marvel side of things. And I'm going to pay attention to the comments very, very, very closely, because I'm thinking it'd be really cool once these come out to do a giveaway. And those comments will help me decide on which set I should give away. So nevertheless, of course, ladies and gents, don't forget to hit that like button on this Blitz News update if you guys are enjoying the video. And with all that in mind, let's get it rocking and let's get it rolling. Let's begin with the Marvel side of things, and we're going to kick things off with Star-Lord vs. Nebula. This will be set number 76090, and it looks pretty fantastic. I really, really do like the design of the ship that we get, or the vehicle that we get from Star-Lord. I think it looks very, very cool. It's obviously inspired by the Milano, and I really like the micro or miniaturized version of it. I really am not certain as to how I feel about the figure for Star-Lord, because they basically printed on his helmet and then gave him hair, which is not something that we've seen before. So it looks a little weird in the pictures, and I hope it looks better in person. So I'm not going to jump to conclusions yet, but it does look a little bit on the wonkier side of things and a little bit strange because of that. I think the jacket looks cool. Of course, he gets his pistol, which is really awesome. But my favorite accessory is actually the one that comes with Nebula, which, by the way, she also looks terrific. I really love the over kind of animated expression that we see on her face, but the accessory of the cassette that she comes with is super cool and obviously fits into the motif of Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, the vehicle that she comes with, I think, is supposed to be just like a Scree vehicle or something like that. I'm not 100% certain, but it's kind of more on the boring side of things because it's mostly black and a little bit of red, which there's nothing wrong with either one of those colors, but it just does not really do anything for me as far as that look. So from there, let's hop on over to Thor vs. Loki, which is one of the more bombastic looking sets. And here we see, of course, a very, very animated Thor, which I love. So I think that that looks terrific. And also an equally animated Loki. Plus, the other really cool thing is that I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is the first time that we're getting classic comic book looking Loki in a set. Yes, of course, he has the shorter legs, but if you just get longer, regular minifigure legs, you could go on ahead and make yourself a classic Loki, which I think is super duper awesome. And I think that he looks really, really stylish. Both of the vehicles in this set are pretty good. I think Loki's vehicle is a little bit cooler. It kind of looks like a battering ram or like a goat or something like that. And it obviously is inspired by his helmet as well. I think that turned out great. I'm not really sure why they didn't take the opportunity to go on ahead and make Thor's vehicle just a hammer on wheels, because I think that would have been hilarious, him just driving a hammer, like just make it mostly gray and everything. I think that would have been better than what they went with here, but we get kind of a more stylized, like lightning bolts all over the place type thing going on for Thor. I just think it's a bit too busy and there's a bit too much going on for that design to work for me. Nevertheless, let's move right along to the Spidey set. Yes, we get another Spider-Man set. I know what you're saying. Dude, we've gotten 3. This is the 3rd, actually, Mighty Micro Spider-Man set. And you'd be correct. But I think that this one actually looks pretty cool. And of course, the other cool part about this set is that it's actually Scarlet Spider. It's not just Spider-Man again, which I think is super duper awesome. And of course, he does battle Sandman. I should have also mentioned this is set number 76089, whereas the previous set that we looked at, which was the Loki vs. Thor set, was set number 76091. So just wanted to clarify that because I know a lot of people like to know the code so they could search it up on different search engines and so on and so forth. But the Spider-Man set looks pretty cool. I love that he comes with a shovel to, of course, shovel the sand of Sandman. I really like the overly animated expression of Sandman. I like the torso printing as well because half of his arm is actually going to be like sand covered and some of his torso has sand on it as well. So that's a pretty cool effect. And he comes with a dump truck as his vehicle of choice because he wants to carry some sand around. So he's technically carrying himself around. So that's kind of interesting. Nevertheless, let's move right along to the DC side of things. And with DC superheroes, we're going to kick things off with Batman v Harley Quinn, set number 76092. And this is by far my favorite set out of the entire 6 that have been announced. Yes, I know you're going to say, well, it's because it's Batman. You're right. I love Batman. What can I say? And Batman is looking super duper stylish here. He kind of reminds me a little bit with his like giant grin of the Lego Batman, if that makes sense. But I think that his vehicle is also super duper cool looking. It looks a bit more like the Batwing, just the design of it and kind of like the more plate-like shape of the design. So I think that's terrific. But the absolute standout of this set is the Harley Quinn. That really cool double colored hair is just fantastic. You got the blue and the red, looks cool. The hammer looks really neat. And then of course, additionally to that, you get that ridiculous expression on her face. And who knows, she might actually have another expression when you rotate the face. So I think that this set is just stellar. Her vehicle is cool as well. Simplistic but cool. So I think that this is my favorite out of the entire bunch. But let's move along to another set, probably a close second, I would say even. And that will be Nightwing v. the Joker, or versus the Joker. And this is set number 76093, and it is also a terrific looking set. I will say that Nightwing's vehicle is a little bit on the boring side of things just because, well, I'm not really certain what's going on there. I feel like it could have been a bit more inspired, whereas Joker's vehicle is actually really, really nice looking and super duper over the top and fitting with the Joker. So I think that that's great. But both the Nightwing and the Joker minifig here look great. They are obviously using the Lego Batman Joker as the basis for this particular set because you can see the hair is the one that we see there. And even just the torso printing and just the face that we see kind of fits that Lego Batman universe. So I think that this is the most kind of Lego Batman based set out of the entire 3 that we are getting. And then last but certainly not least, which was a pleasant surprise, and that is Supergirl versus Brainiac. Because of course, we did get into that weird spot with Mighty Micro's DC sets where it was mostly like, hey, here's the Batman family, which again, there's nothing wrong with that because I think Batman is the most like financially successful and lucrative out of the brands. So it makes sense. But I really do wish that we would have gotten more sets like this one, which is Supergirl versus Brainiac, set number 76094. I don't know if I mentioned that, because we're then getting more extensive characters from the DC universe. Because after all, it is called Lego DC Superheroes. It's not Lego Batman Mighty Micros, right? So I think that that is definitely a really, really nice touch. The Supergirl minifig looks great. I think the hair, I don't remember seeing that in blonde, so that might be the first time that I'll own that particular hair piece. So I think that that's really cool. Both vehicles are decent. Again, I think that Supergirl's vehicle is similarly to Nightwing's vehicle, is a little bit more on the boring side. I think they're trying to make it look like the shuttle that they would use, like her and Kent, to get down to Earth, which I get. But to me, I just think it's a little bit too plain looking, and I think they could have done something a little bit more inspired than that. Whereas Brainiac's vehicle actually looks really cool because it looks like Brainiac's ship that we got a few years back, and I think it looks really cool because it's got the canopy covering over him, which looks cool, and then that printing of the skull mouth on the front just looks terrific as well. So with all that in mind, ladies and gents, there you have it. That is the Blitz News update for today. Now the ball is in your court. I want to hear which of the sets did you like best from the Marvel side of things. Of course, once again, you have 3 options to select from, and that is the Scarlet Spider versus Sandman set, that is the Star-Lord versus Nebula set, and last but certainly not least, it is Thor versus Loki. So let me know down in the comment section below which one of those 3 do you like best. And then in addition to that, Of course, let me know what is your favorite DC superhero Mighty Micro set, and that would be either Batman versus Harley, of course we had Nightwing versus the Joker, and Supergirl versus Brainiac. With all that in mind, ladies and gents, thank you so very much for watching today's video. I'll hopefully catch you guys here on the next Blitz News update, and I'm going to be discussing the brand new wave of LEGO Batman minifigures very, very shortly. So thanks all for watching. I'll hopefully catch you guys here next time. Peace out. See you later, alligators. Bye-bye, everyone.